All right. What's up, guys? It is a new video, new type of video. I have been literally not complaining, but talking about doing a update video for quite some time now, and now we're going to finally do it. So with that being said, welcome to the King Omega. I am the King Omega. So, we are Pokemon, pretty much. It's what we do here. Am I talking too loud? I think I'm talking too loud. Anyway, we're Pokemon. Hi. No, we definitely are Pokemon now. With some one-offs. So, yeah, the update video, the update itself. We just finished Pokemon Y. I really had a lot of fun with that. I'm so sorry it took so long. I went through 2 baseball seasons with it. Yay. So yeah, I coach my sons. That's a pretty fun time for me, and it just not unfortunately, but just so happens to kind of interfere with the scheduling and what not. Um, so with that being said, saying that I am Pokemon now would probably mean that the end of Hogwarts Legacy has happened, unless you honest to goodness just want it to come back that bad. We have made slight upgrades to the PC, um, with some RAM updates, possibly a graphics card update. I just need to kind of dot the T's and cross the I's with all of that. And there is going to be a second part of this. I will put down at the first part of the video where the second half of this video starts. But real quick, we're doing Luminescent Platinum. I'll really, if you've made it this far in the video, please direct me into how I get into this format of the then we battle, choose your starters, randomize starters, da da da. I want to do that. I really want to bring that to this channel. I know how to do that with other games. I know how to do that with some of the last era. But I really want to do it with this. Yeah. So now that we've got that out of the way, the second half of this video is going to be a tier list. Now, I am going to be ranking your mainline Pokemon games. So I don't really like this setup um of the art, but I mean, red and blue are the same game, so they're going to be, you know. So this tier goaded. Excuse me. Goaded. That is very goaded. Then we have very mid, and then we have trash, pure trash. Okay. And mid is not necessarily a bad term in this tier list, as I get me a drink of crisp, refreshing lemon lime soda. Pop, excuse me. My country people will definitely be upset that I said soda. Anywho, mid is not necessarily a bad game. It's just what it is. Pretty mid, pretty in the middle. That being said, Pokemon Red and Blue, nostalgia glasses off. It's pretty mid. Um, Great legends. Um, Great starters. Are arguably, um, there are a couple as my cat's hanging out. There are there are arguably 3 sets of starters that I feel no one disagrees with as having one be a bad starter. This is one of those gens. I feel like Charmander, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and then Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur, retrospectively. I think they're all great starters. The Gen 1 mechanics, and um it has nothing to do with the game itself, as far as like it was revolutionary, but like I said, the nostalgia glass is off. You have some pretty Mons that didn't really make a good turnaround until Gen 6 with the introduction of Megas and then competitive play and the like. Uh, Same thing with Pikachu. If I might put it, I would probably put it in the middle of mid and C. It's definitely after Red and Blue. Quality of life upgrades that they had, but the Pikachu solo starter, I'm not a Pikachu fan, so there's that. Um, eh, the fact that I had to go get uh, so I have a Pokemon that is pretty much weak to Brock solely, and then I switched that up with, the quick fix was fighting a Pidgeotto in the wild in Viridian Forest to fight Brock, who is also weak to the Pewter City Gym. Gold and silver, trash, pure trash. Your pseudo legendary was post game. My favorite Mon from that gen, Murkrow, post game. Really weak bug mons, really weak. I mean, I love Hoot Hoot and I love Noctowl's design. They're pretty garbo. Larvitar's great post game. The scaling, you can do 16 badges. The scaling, the level scaling in the post game, trash, absolutely abysmal. They had a lot of potential, but it just didn't really pan out. It's just they're not good. Uh, People need to take the nostalgia glasses off. Lugia and Ho-Oh are great. The legendary beasts, cats, dogs, whatever they are, they're okay. Suicune's okay. Raiku's good. Entei's okay. Yeah, just not really feeling it. Crystal C, it pretty much made this a little bit better. Again, some more quality of life upgrades. The unknown thing was cool, even though it didn't really have a payoff, which also sucked for 9-year-old me. So there's that as well. Gen 3, A tier. Gen 3, man, Groudon, Kyogre. It gave me Flygon. Gave me Rayquaza. It's a good game. A lot of people hate on the story. Don't know why. Story's pretty good. And this is the second of those. I don't think there's a bad starter. This is probably the best set of starters, even though I personally do not like Trico and I personally do not like Torchic. I am a Mudkip guy through and through, but I'm not necessarily saying they are bad. I'm just saying that they themselves are not my personal cup of tea. The villains was really good. This again, these two rehashed villains. Giovanni was goated. Team Magma, Team Aqua was pretty cool. Rayquaza goated, or sorry, Emerald goated. Emerald quality of life upgrades again. It just did a lot of better stuff. Battle Frontier, all that. Or is it Frontier? Tower Frontier. I don't know. It's been a long time. But anyway, great. One of the best 3 Pokemon games of all time. Fire Red and Leaf Green, still kind of mid. Better than original Red and Blue. Again, quality of life upgrades. But yeah, it's revisiting Kanto with Gen 3 Mons. Pretty nice. And this is going to get me canceled. Mid. Gen 4 is mid. Gen 4, this is the bad mid. Gen 4 is mid. Gave me Honchkrow. That's about it. I don't like the Lake Spirits. Giratina cool. Palkia cool. Dialga's they're alright. That's about it. Sinnoh is Galactic is I don't know. Pacing of the story, Distortion World was cool, but Elite Four, It's Cynthia. It's it. That's it. Heart Gold Soul Silver, trash, pure trash. Again, You just polished up more trash and made it polished trash. It's Gen 2 with Gen 4 stuff. Black and white. Above Gen 3, great. Zekrom, Reshiram, pretty awesome. Mythicals were okay. The genies, they're alright. Not, the story was great. I love Ian, I love Getsus, Colrus. That whole spiel. It's really good. Now I will say this as a caveat. I personally, for Gen 4, I personally do not have nostalgia glasses for Gen 4 because I officially, Emerald was my end of my childhood Pokemon run. So Emerald came out, I was around 14, 05, right? 04, 05. Emerald came out, I was well into my teens, in high school. I wasn't in high school yet. But anyway, I was right at the cusp of high school. And then they went DS, and I never physically owned an original DS. I went straight from Game Boy Advanced to 3DS XL that I kept until I didn't, basically. But anyway, I do not have the nostalgia glasses for Gen 4 like everybody else does. I just do know that my boy Honchkrow came from it. And that's that. So that's, cancel me, burn me at the stake, whatever have you. I'm just telling you what it is. But anyway, Black White, great characters. I haven't really touched on the rivals. Gary, goated as a rival. Silver, Wally, and then Gen 4 was it? Bianca, right? And Cherim. Is that Gen 4? Yeah. Or no, is that Dawn? Dawn, right? And then Bianca was black and white. Yeah. Cherim, yeah, okay. Yeah, those guys, they're pretty cool. Dawn's, all right. Or not, Dawn's not the rival. Who's the rival? Can't remember the rival. Not important. Black 2, White 2. Better than Emerald. It is phenomenal. This is the game that got me back into Pokemon. I skipped to Black and White. I skipped Gen 4 and the original Black and White. I jumped back in Black and White 2. Asked somebody if I needed to play Black and White. They said no. Black and White 2 is a true sequel about 2 years later, and you really are just going to kind of get like the fill in the blanks part of that. So yeah. Black and White 2. Everything that Black and White did well, perfected it. Awesome. Generation 6. Here's another hot take and cancelable offense, probably. Generation 6, Pokemon X and Pokemon Y, are the greatest Pokemon games ever. They just are. It is everything you loved about Gen 1 put on the 3DS. It hit every nostalgia button. It was the last time any major villain wanted absolute either destruction or domination. And it truly was. It is. I'm not going to say perfect, but it is as close to perfect as this series has ever been. The introduction of the fairy type, the introduction of megas, literally, it like revolving matches around Mega Pokemon. Like, you gave the champion, first off, the highest level Pokemon to date as a champion's ace. Then you gave it a Mega. Like, it's phenomenal. It is easily my favorite Pokemon game of all time. And just for it's the game you came back. No, it's not the game I came back on. It is the game I prepped for because Black and White 2 had already been out. I think X and Y dropped 5 months later. It dropped 5 months later. So it wasn't like I was, doing some like, oh man, this is, I'm just playing this to get hyped for the next one. I was, but at the same time, like there was some definite. Like I beat Black and White 2 in 3 weeks. Let's be honest. And then I didn't even do any kind of competitive prep or anything like that. I didn't actually get into competitive until a little bit later, but we will go into that. Oris. Eh. Oris is not good. Um Oris should have been here. It is here. It's not as good as Crystal. It is better than Trash 2, but the convoluted story, it was not convoluted. It's more so just a little confusing if you like aren't really like kind of paying attention to it. You're like, okay, why am I here? It did keep the megas though, gave me Mega Ray. Pretty it just should have been more. Um and I don't know why it wasn't. You know what I'm talking about. If you're a true fan of this series, you don't necessarily need a foolproof explanation like a quintessential like this is the reason. It just for some reason felt less than. And I don't truly know why. Like I had to force myself through it, if that makes any sense. Um Sun and Moon, bottom of A. Um Sun and Moon, I thought was really good. How is so? This is where they started that goody two shoes. Like, let's give it 110% for the best of us. Actually, Gen 6 was when they started that. But Serena still felt like a threat. How never felt like a threat. Even Wally felt like a threat at certain points of the story. Certain points of the game, Wally felt like a threat. Hal never did, and the reason he never did is because isn't this the gym where they made him like they make you pick the opposite? Like used to like obviously back in the day, like if I picked Charmander, they picked Squirtle. If I picked Mudkip, they picked Trico. If I did this, they picked this. Right? Is this not when they flipped that? Like when I picked Incineroar, he picked Rowlet, right? Pretty sure. Or when I picked Litten, he picked Rowlet. I'm pretty sure that's how that went. But anyway, Hal never felt like a threat. I loved the whole introduction to the Champion League. Like, he was like, hey, Kanto does this. I'm going to do it too. It was awesome. It felt great. It felt a different type of feeling as far as like breaking ground in Pokemon. I myself personally am not a huge fan of Z moves, but I can understand how awesome it was. I could get it, right? So I think it's really good. And Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon is just a little bit better. Um, the in game, post game stuff was better. The Rainbow Rocket stuff was amazing. So going back and doing all that stuff, it's just the end game to Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and the little bits and pieces of like the time traveling stuff and the Ultra Beast, and give me a couple more Ultra Beast. Still can't believe they didn't do anything with Zygarde in any of these, but still though, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon is basically just a better version of Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, just because of all the It's basically Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon DLC. With I felt like I got my value out of it. If that makes any sense. Let's Go's. They're better than Gen 2. Preschool Pokemon. My kids really loved it. It's one of their first Pokemon games. So I got to say it. It is. Sword and Shield's low end A. It's here. I don't get. I never got the hate for it. It's pretty confusing to Nuzlocke. as far as like the wild areas and all that jazz. But that's not really why I'm doing this tier list. I don't really care about Nuzlocks or Nuzlocke aspects of it. Dynamax, I never got behind, and I don't know why. I just don't. I never got behind it. I don't enjoy it. I know competitive players love it. Wolfie, he's like one of the main guys I watch as far as competitive play goes. Who doesn't, right? But Wolfie swears up and down by it. He thinks it's the most up hard thing there's ever been, and I just disagree wholeheartedly. I do like the Galarmons, Eternatus, Zacian, Zamazenta. Those are great. Surfetch coming in, Berserker. And another thing for Gen 7, the forms, regional forms. Great. That is great. And Galarian forms, all of those Galarian forms were pretty good. It gave us a nice bolstered roster of new Mons that I really enjoyed. Raid Dens, phenomenal. That was really good stuff. Decent little bit of post game in there. The DLCs were nice. Gave us Urshifu and Calyrex, Spectrier, all that stuff. Really good game. Didn't get the hate at first. Still don't. I know everybody's not really coming around to. They're more preferring Sword and Shield now that Scarvy's out, but we'll get into that in a little bit. BDSP in the middle. Okay. All right. No, I'm not. I'm going to give it what it is. It is trash. It is hot garbage. It is not what anybody expected it to be. Luminescent Platinum is the only reason I'm even giving this game a shot. Luminescent Platinum, from what I've played and what I've seen, is exactly what this game should have been. Point blank, period. That's it. That's all that needs to be said about it. Step up your game. This is like your next. If you mess up Gen 5 as best as you did this game right here, Pokemon has a problem. They have a core fan base problem. I'm not saying that for your people, because you're getting into the market now of Gen 5, people that played Gen 5 growing up. Like what Gen 5, what kids playing Gen 5 when I was playing like the same amount of age that I was playing Gen 3. So I was playing Gen 3 in my early teens, like late preteens, early teens. So you're going to get these Gen 5 kids, right? You're going to get these Gen 5 guys that are 22, 23 years old that they were playing when Gen 5 had come out. And you botch this, because Black and White 2 and Black and White, good luck finding these games core games without box for under $100. Good luck. Because people are coming around the fact that these are two of the greatest Pokemon games that has ever been in production. They are coming around to it. It is finally public knowledge that, hey, these two right here, pretty up hard. You botch everybody's old favorite that bad, and you turn around and botch the new favorite even worse, you have a problem on your hands. You just do. You can disagree. You can leave in the comments and say, hey, awesome, but you suck. Yeah, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's fine. I'm here for criticism. I'm on the internet. But you have a problem on your hands as a company if you botch not one, but two. You're actually in remakes. You are 0 for 3 right now. Everybody loves Fire Red, Leaf Green. I get it. Nostalgia. Everybody loves Heart Gold, Soul Silver except for me, but I hate Gen 2. Oh, Gen 3, Gen 4, Gen 3 and Gen 4. You have botched tremendously. If it wasn't for your core mechanics being well in Megas and giving Rayquaza some more heat, that he needed it anyway, and introducing timelines and actually kind of introducing a little bit of a story and alternate universes and alternate timelines, if you hadn't done that in 3, you're looking at pre-BDSP. You just are. So don't botch Gen 5. Legends Arceus. It's not as good as Gen 5. It's great. Um, I like I like the stuff. You know what I mean? I like the origin story of everything. I like how all that's going. I mean, not going, but I like how all that went. I like all of it. I just, I don't know. The alphas were cool, but then, eh. Um, got a little everywhere. I like it gave us new Pokemon, Cleaver, Ursaluna, all that stuff. Phenomenal mons, by the way. Sneasler, phenomenal mon. Hisuian starters, phenomenal. It gave us the origin forms of Palkia and Dialga. Great stuff, right? It was just something in the core mechanics of the game just didn't really pop at me. Not saying it's a bad game. I get the hype. I get where everybody is coming from. I get why they want another Legends game so bad. And I will be right there as long as it's not Legends Johto. I need it can even be Johto. It could be set in Johto. It has to be Legends Lugia. But I would take Legends Giratina. I would take Legends give me Legends Zygarde. Give me something with Zygarde. Because you got Kyurem, right? You got Rayquaza. You got Suicune, right? Giratina. Now we have Arceus. Eternatus got his shine already. Necrozma, Ultra Necrozma. Where is my Zygarde love? I need Zygarde. Give me Zygarde. Okay? Okay. But anyway, Legends Arceus, great game. I get the hype behind it. For me personally, it's top 5. Actually, sorry, it's not. Because Scarvy is 4th. Scarvy's 4th. And let me tell you why Scarvy's 4th, as I text my wife back. Scarvy is 4th because 3 things, okay? Scarvy is 4th because, number 3, Paradox Pokemon. Paradox Pokemon are great. They bring a different competitive side to actual competitive Pokemon. They bring a nice story in. You have the futuristic mons in Violet. You have the prehistoric in Scarlet. They add a Arceus feel, right? Because now you're saying, oh, well, it's Hisuian. Sneasler evolved. Sneasler did like a saber-toothed tiger thing where they are actual tigers and they just don't have the long teeth, and it's an evolution process, right? So Sneaslers did that. Ursalunas did that to be Ursa Rings and all that stuff, even though I know they're evolutions, but like they didn't just forget how to evolve. It is an evolution of what they do not need anymore. So, Hisuian is just Sinnoh. So having the Paradox Pokemon be different forms while still holding Paldean forms, it's phenomenal. It's great. It is better Ultra Beasts because at least I have some, like, I love Iron Hands because it's tied to Hariyama. I love Iron Jugulus because it's tied to Hydreigon. So, Paradox Pokemon. This story is up hard. This story is great. And it always has been. Sorry, but piss on the graphical errors. I had two little mishaps. And the only reason I noticed them is because they were so far out of the norm. I was like, oh, and then I was done. Get them out, okay? It's fine. And then number 1, Terra. The Terra forms are great. Don't care if you don't like them as hats. Don't care if you don't like them as anything else. Don't care if you like that I can just switch my Pokemon type like that. Get good. The Terra Pokemon is the second best mechanic they've ever introduced into Pokemon, Mega being number 1. And Terra could also possibly be better as far as a competitive standpoint because this extra thing that I get now, I don't have to hold anything to get it. I can make Feraligatr, which who needs to be back. I can get Feraligatr, turn him into a rock type that you got a freaking whatever across from me, right? You got an electric type across from me. I switched to rock type, Terra Blast. Now your whole entire momentum shifts, and from a thinking standpoint, you have to think like, holy crap, do I eat? Like, yes, this move is super effective. I'm about to smack you with the fattest Thunderbolt to the point where now you're a ground type or you're a rock type, and I can't do any damage to you when I was supposed to actually like be bodying you right now. It's just great. Miraidon and Koraidon are great. The story was good. I like that you really never saw the professor. It changed up so many things. It did take away the random encounters, which even still, it's fine. Like, we were already kind of used to it anyway from Sword and Shield. So, I don't know. You all tell me. You all tell me in the comments. If you made it this far in this freaking long video, you all tell me in the comments. But this is the King Omega. Boom. Stamp of approval. Okay. Goated. We have Gen 6, half a Gen 5, later half a Gen 3. In the A tier, we have Scarvy, Black White, Arceus, OG Gen 3, both Gen 7 and Gen 8. Mid, not necessarily bad, but we have pretty much all of Gen 1 and then half of Gen 4, or all of Gen 4, sorry. C tier, we have the few shining light of Gen 2, and then Gen 3 remake, and then in absolute gutter trash, we have BDSP, Let's Go, and Gen 2 as a whole. Well, most of Gen 2. So that is the list. You saw the update. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate everything you all do for me. We're slowly climbing these sub ranks, man. So if you do enjoy this content, please, please, please hit that sub button for me. And I appreciate everything that you all do. And I will be back very, very soon with another Nuzlocke or random one-off video. But until then, thank you guys so much. Peace.